Okay, so today I'm here to give you all my knowledge on how to play Mannadium, including 3 different combos and a decklist guide. As of the combos, one is gonna be the full best combo that you can go for, second one will be on how to play with a worse hand and what to prioritize going into, and the third one will be on how to play around Nibiru. Let's get started. I'm gonna walk you through each and every single one of them. Now in that case, I just have a really beautiful hand. We're gonna start with the field spell, search out the Realm card here, then I'm gonna go normal summon the Realm card and search out Obsession because I already have the Meek. And then to build the best board possible, you need to pop the Meek twice. One with the Obsession, second one it will be with the Visa Starfrost or the Realm card depending on the case scenario. Then I'm gonna use both of the effects, space summoning 2 Meeks. One is gonna be level 4, one is gonna be level 2. We're then gonna link off. And then here it's very good to remember that you gotta link off for the Axial Synchro, because Axial Synchro is your only way towards Dispatter. Then we're gonna bring it back, then go into the Dispatter of course. And then we're gonna pop the Meek again with the Visa, space summoning it, and also space summoning from the deck a level 4 body. Then we're gonna go into the Light Heart, which basically allows us to search out a copy of the Reich Field Spell. Then we're gonna use the Reich Field Spell of course, and search out Scarecrow Kashira. Now typically you wanna search out Reich, but since we already have it, we wanna search out basically an additional extender in the face of Scarecrow Kashira here. And from there we are just gonna go space summon the Reich, activate the effect, search out the Scarecrow Rival, which I played 2 copies of, activate it, space summon the Vista Starfrost, and immediately go into Bornede Fleur, which is our second synchro summon, which is beautiful. And then we're gonna link off into Crossheave, and we're gonna go into the Astraloud of course by banishing the 2 monsters from the graveyard. Now it's good to go for Realm Heart and also the Visa Starfrost and keep the Reich Heart in the graveyard if you are gonna plan on going into something like Chaos Angel, so that you can have both of the effects available. Now this is a little bit neat, but it's also kind of good if you're gonna go into Chaos Angel. It's good to have light and dark in the grave. But anyways, moving on, now we're gonna be able to use the effect of Crossship and bring back the Meek, and then we're gonna synchro summon for a third synchro summon into Chengian. Then we're gonna be able to use the effect of Dispatter, which is just insanely good, space summon the Visas, also space summon the Scarecrow Kashira, and then we're gonna be able to just go into the Palooza, set the Mannadium reframing, and that will be the board. And during your opponent's turn, you basically have 3 monster effect negates, 1 Bornede Fleur, which is a non-negate, 1 Chengian, which is triggered very well after the Mannadium reframing, which is a non-negate as well. But the second effect basically allows you to banish it and then return a bunch of Mannadium cards to the deck, which just so happens to trigger the effect of the Chengian. And we have the Dispatter, which is either a monster negate or most of the time just a popping effect. So before we get into the Nibiru stuff, I want to showcase you an alternative combo where you don't have access to everything you need. For example, here I don't have access to the Mannadium cards, but we're gonna just go through the place here a little bit. We're gonna space summon Kashira and then go basically Scarecrow Kashira and summon the Light card. We also have Vista Starfrost, activate the effect, search out the field spell, and that is basically gonna be straight up Scarecrow plays. But here we are just gonna go and space summon the Reinhardt, search out second copy of the Arrival, then go and summon the Crossship. And we're gonna basically be able to go into a few interruptions with this board actually, which is not bad at all. And we're gonna just straight up go into Bornede Fleur here, which is absolutely amazing. Then we're gonna use the second Arrival, space summon the Scarecrow Kashira, and that basically allows us with a random Ash Blossom to go into Chengian. But ideally, Chengian is not gonna be on the field most of the time. This was just lucky. But anyways, we're gonna then move on to just banish 2, space summon the Astraloud, which space summons an additional body because of the effect of the Crossship now. And we're gonna be able to go into 4 negations of Palooza. And we also have the droplet here, but something to keep in mind is that Chengian is not always gonna be available like this. Ideally, you are just gonna be able to get into 3 to 4 negates of Palooza with Bornede Fleur at the very least, and this is your main priority when you have a little bit of a worse hand. But it's actually really important to know what to do with the worse hand as well, so that's why I went over the combos again. Okay, so we're gonna start off by normal summoning the Reinhardt, search out a copy of the Arrival, then we're gonna link it up for a copy of Lightheart. And we're gonna activate the effect, searching out a copy of the Planet Reich, which we're gonna use the effect of search out another copy of Reinhardt. And here it's important to note that you don't need to search out the second copy of Reinhardt, you need to search out a copy of Visa Starfrost, but because we have it in hand, it's no point searching out the second copy of it, so we just went for the free special summon. If you don't have the Visa Starfrost, just go ahead, use the Arrival, space summon the Reinhardt from the graveyard, it's perfectly fine. But then we're basically gonna go activate the effect of Reinhardt, space summon it to the field, also space summoning the Visas by popping the Light Heart, and here we're gonna go for the 5th summon of Bornede Fleur, which is just straight up playing around Nibiru. Now the only downside to this combo is that we're missing out on the effect of Lightheart to special summon it back to the field because Visa Starfrost is on the field, but don't worry, we're gonna get our chance. And from here you basically work with whatever extenders you have. Now in my case I have Heart on arrival, which is full combo. So what we're gonna do afterwards, we're gonna activate the arrival, bring back the Visa Starfrost on the field, chaining the Ghost Bell, but that really doesn't matter because we have the code buy. We're just gonna chain it, it's fine completely. And that allows us to basically space summon back the Visa Starfrost, and we're gonna be able to activate the Lightheart, space summoning it to the field as well. And then we're gonna go cross ship and we're gonna basically special summon the Visa's Astralaut. And because we already have one more copy of the Reinhardt in the graveyard, we can just resummon it, activate Heart, pop it, special summon, activate this effect, and just the opponent's cools, because from here it is gonna be full combo, and that is basically how you play around Nibiru. Alright, it is decklist time now, and as you can see, it is a little bit different from my Mannadium video that I made a couple of days ago. So first thing that I added is actually Droplet. I removed the Imperm. The reason being is actually because Droplet is pretty good against a lot of decks. It is also capable of negating more than one effect. Your opponent isn't able to respond to it as well. It is just an amazing staple to play. I also cut some of the hand traps. As you can see, 2 copies Maxi, 2 copies in favor of another copy of Triple Tactic Standard because this card is amazing. But as of the ratios, of course, we're playing the 3 copies of Reinhardt. Now when it comes down to the Scarecrow cards, I really like to play the most amount of them as possible. That's why I played 3 copies of Reinhardt, 2 copies of the Field Spell, and 2 copies of Arrival. I actually believe that it's really important to play 2 copies of Lightheart. This card is absolutely amazing at 2. It gives you the ability to have a follow-up play, which is really important because if they manage to break your board and you don't have a second copy of Lightheart, your board is gonna be significantly worse. We also play a second copy of Arrival for that reason. Also, even if you don't have a second copy of Lightheart, you still need to play a second copy of Arrival because sometimes you just hard draw it and you don't have anything to add off of the effect of the Reinhardt. Also, the Arrival is not once per turn, so you can use it twice per turn even if you have 1 copy of it hard drawn. As of the Mannadium cards, we obviously play 3 copies of Meek and 3 copies of Heart. Now I do play 2 copies of Visa Starfrost. Currently you should play probably 3 copies of it since the additional Mannadium cards that are available in TCG aren't available here, but I still play it at 2 and find great success, so I'm gonna keep it at 2, but keep in mind that 3 copies give you a little bit more consistency. As of the spell cards, 1 copy Imaginings, 2 copies of Obsession. You don't need to play a 3rd copy of Obsession, trust me, this is fine at 2. And the 1 Imagining, some people don't play it, but dude, this is ridiculously good. Like, this card is just really good. The amount of times that I actually was able to fix my hand is crazy, and it is also searchable, which is even better. We are also playing 6 field spells. We've got the 2 copies of the Scarecrow field spell, 1 copy of the Kashiri field spell, and 3 copies of the Mannadium field spell. Now you could also play the tier spell 1 copy of, and that's probably not gonna be a bad idea to boost your consistency, but I just chose not to play it. It's up to you to decide. I would suggest you honestly to play it because it sometimes gives you that little bit of consistency more, which you are gonna make use of. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the field spells, and we have 1 copy of the Mannadium Reframing. This card is just really nice. It allows you to basically negate anything. It is also searchable Solemn Judgment for the deck, and it pairs really well with the Chengyan, which leads me to the extra deck. Now the only difference in my extra deck is that I added a copy of Coral Dragon. Coral Dragon is just a nice removal. It also allows you to draw something. It is just a cool card to fix your board a little bit as well. You can also play 1 copy of Ravenous Crocodile to link off your Fenrir sometimes, which is not a bad idea. But as of the rest, we definitely play the 1 copy of Borneo Floor, definitely playing the Chengyan for now, definitely playing this Potter and also the Chaos Angel. Also the 2 copies of Astralaut, really important. Do not play that one. This is a definitive 2 copies of, and the rest is just a bunch of generic link monsters. But that was it for the video. If you enjoyed it and if you learned something, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. Also, feel free to comment below any other suggestions in terms of the deck list, in terms of the combos, alternative ways to play the deck, and basically anything related to Mannadiums. If you want to see live games of me playing Mannadium, feel free to check out my other video, link will be down in the description. Or if you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel content, be sure to check the channel, and now you know how to crush your opponents with Mannadium.